Good morning out there, everybody, or good afternoon, or whatever time it might be when you're tuning into the show. We've got a good one lined up for you. Glad you could stop by. We're going to be talking about the NBA and how black people, yeah, I said it, black people need to stop blaming Adam Silver for everything that's going wrong in the National Basketball Association. Let's jump right into this thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the fallout continues. It continues on. Another morning we wake up, and there are more allegations and more things coming out that we're finding out about the latest scandal in the NBA. But I want to talk to you guys and girls out there today about how we as a community, especially blacks, we need to stop, man, blaming every time something goes on. We want to blame the white man for our downfalls. Yep. So the NBA consists 70 to 75% of the players who play in the National Basketball Association are black people. They're black players. They're black players. That's right. 70 to 75% of the people players who play in the NBA are black people. Every time you turn around, when something happens, the first thing we want to do is blame you know who. Oh man, they're coming down on the black man. This latest scandal is definitely no different, and it didn't take. But as soon as the comments, as soon as the accusations or the allegations came out, the first thing you jump in the comment section on a lot of videos, they say, "Oh, here we go again, going down on another black man." Well, let's just address all of that. We want to talk about Adam Silver first. Is Adam Silver doing a great job with the NBA? Well, he's no David Stern, but he's doing the best job that he possibly can do. Okay? Now, every time you turn around, there's a scandal with the players of the NBA. Most of the time, it's with some woman or some player out there getting exposed for either playing a woman or not playing a woman, or he got 2 or 3 women. And who is it? You know who it is. It's black athletes out there making millions of dollars, and for most of us, we can't understand it. But these problems that the NBA are facing, it didn't just start. It didn't just start, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about some of the things that I don't understand, never have been able to understand about the modern day NBA players. First off, the number one thing that I don't understand is the load management, where the players don't get out there and play half the time. You as a regular worker, you go out and you get your money, your hard-earned money, and you want to go to a game, and then you spend your money, you take your kids to the game, and most of the time, these damn players don't even play. They don't even play. They don't even play. Every time you turn around, there's a different, they want to fight. And then what's so crazy about it, it's really pretend fight. Remember back in the day, there was no pretending about fighting. If they were going to get into it, hell, they were going to get it on. All the whining and all the complaining from team to team. Players, if they can't win on this team, they go over to another team. So much friendship. No real rivalries in the sport because all of the damn players are friends with each other. You remember when the Lakers and the Celtics played in the old days? Man, it was a rivalry. And I know what you're going to say right off the bat. Man, it's not the old days. Well, we probably need to bring the old days back because this stuff that's going on in the NBA, it has to stop. And I already know we're never going to stop blaming the white man for what goes on. Chauncey Billups, a millionaire, multi-millionaire, one of the Hall of Fame NBA player. A Hall of Fame NBA player. He's not naive. He's not naive. And don't you tell me for 1 minute that it's all just about the excitement. Hell, he's a coach of the NBA. He may not be running out there shooting jumpers, but he's right there orchestrating everything that goes on. So no, he's just been an old school, what we call an old school knucklehead. And Terry Rozier, he's bounced around the NBA. He's bounced around. And then he was fortunate enough for LeBron James, and we'll get to him, to take him in. And then he wasn't even on payroll, but you know somewhere around there he was getting money. He was getting money from LeBron James or Clutch Sports or some damn body because he was around. He was around. He's played 11, 12 years in the National Basketball Association. And I want you to think, even a 1-year contract in the NBA, he's played 11 seasons. Now I want you to think about your job that you've been working on every single day for the past 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, some of us up with 30 years. And you're not making nowhere close to the money that these young men are making. They're making more money in a couple of damn days than a couple of weeks than most of us made the whole time we've been working. Millions of dollars. It's just greed. It's nobody's fault. It's not Adam Silver's fault because these guys out here want to go and run some type of scheme up I mean, you think about some of the stuff, putting glasses on, contacts in, robbing the people. Already shady. It was already a shady thing. But then they're taking it to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. But you want to blame Adam Silver? You blame him if he was at the poker games, but he wasn't at the poker games. That's who you blame. That's who you blame. Now we've heard coming some of the, oh man, they talking about the white mob and they talking about the mob. They say it was all mob related, man, but man, they talking about the black man. Well, then what about the black mob? What about that? So you don't want to talk about that. You do not want to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is 70 to 75% of the players who play in the National Basketball Association are black guys. And every time you turn around, it's a scandal after scandal. Scandal after the scandal. It's a reason why it's disrespectful that the best players in the National Basketball Association, hell, ain't even from America. You want to blame the white man for that too? They're not even from America. But you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to address that. You want to address everything else that goes on and blame it on somebody else. How about stopping for a second and saying, well, damn, man, all you black players out there and the vast majority of the best players in the NBA are not even from the United States. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. See, we're focusing our energy on blaming people instead of putting the blame right there front and center where it deserves to be at. That's where it deserves to be at. Front and center on those guys. So stop blaming Adam Silver for all the problems that go on in the NBA. Now, does Adam Silver have some things that he can work on to do better? Well, yeah, you better believe it. You better believe it. But man, it's out of line. It's out of line. And then you've got, and I'm going to talk to some of you media personalities out there too. Some of you guys and girls out there are just running off like Colin Cowherd. Come on, man. You talking about don't bring MJ back and get some of these people, these younger people. Man, what rock are you living under? What rock are you living under? It doesn't matter how old damn Mike is. 60, 62. It doesn't matter. None of these modern day players that you talking about, you need to put them on front and center. They're not going to get the exposure that Michael Jordan does, and he ain't even playing basketball. He ain't even playing basketball. See, everybody want to blame everybody else. But the truth about it is, man, you need to be addressing the elephant in the room. And these are the players of the National Basketball Association. How many podcasts do you sit up and watch? Well, you got borderline players, borderline journeyman players who sit up and talk about the old greats of the NBA who paved the way for them. But they sit up and talk about they were nothing more than damn plumbers and all of this. When they themselves were not better basketball players than them. Don't make no sense. And 95, 70% of it is who? It's black shows, black podcasts, where the players are getting on there trying to prove their point, going down on all of the old greats just to say one person is better. The NBA has a problem. It has a problem. And these young men are the problem. Think about a few months ago, maybe 5-6 months ago. Think about how bad the players, former players, and some of the players in the NBA talked about Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players to ever lace them up. And none of them that were doing that talking was a better player than Kobe Bryant. But they sit up and they went down after everything that man's family had to endure with him losing his life and his kid and all those people. They sit up and talk down on a dead man. But yet you want to tell me that it's the white man's fault. Nope. These were black players that was doing that. Black players that couldn't hold a candle to Kobe Bryant. They wouldn't say these things when he was alive. That's just another problem of the NBA. So are we blaming the white man for their voices, for the things that they say? You've got LeBron James, undoubtedly one of the greatest players in NBA history. He has to come out and tell you that after he won the championship in Cleveland, that he was that makes him the GOAT. That didn't make you the GOAT. Because like we all say, the greats don't have to say, the greatest doesn't have to say he was the greatest. That's up to us to determine who's the greatest. If he's the face of the NBA, what has he done for the NBA? He's put the NBA right in the center of the P. Diddy trial. There ain't no party like a P. Diddy party. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's been going on in the NBA. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So will the NBA survive this one? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think the NBA is going to survive this one. Let's continue on. But before we do, I'm going to need you to hit the like and subscribe button. I'm going to need you to hit the like and subscribe and the donate button. Hit the like and subscribe and donate button. Let's continue on. And it goes farther than that with us as a community. Everybody was up in arms about Caitlin Clark because she was a white girl. We know Caitlin Clark is not better than Asia Wilson. But look at all the publicity that she's brought to the National Basketball Association. But that wasn't good enough. They're going down on black people. Really? So you would rather say they were going down on black people, but yet and still, when they put her as the face of the WNBA, the WNBA started to prosper and make money. But that ain't it. You don't want to see that. All you want to say is it's black people, black people, black people. When are we going to stop? We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop. Time and time again. See, some of these problems, now I'm not telling you all the rest of the leagues are perfect. I'm not going to tell you that. But one thing that some of the things that you don't see in the NFL, you don't see the younger players telling us the damn Jerry Rice wasn't great. You don't see the younger players saying Dan Marino wasn't great. You don't see the younger players going down on all the older players just to prove their point that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of all times, in which common sense tells you it's Tom Brady or Joe Montana. You don't see them doing that. You don't see them doing that in the NFL. And once again, I know they're not perfect either because they've had their own people suspended for gambling. But some of the things that you see in the NFL, you don't see them. Some of the things you see in the NBA, you don't see them in the National Football Association. Just another problem. Just another problem, man. Just another problem. Don't understand it. Don't understand it. So those are some of the things that I wanted to weigh in. Stop blaming Madam Silver for everything that's going on in the NBA. NBA players want to be rappers and rappers want to be NBA players. Put it short and simple. Shorty just want to be a thug. This is Allen with D9J Sports. I'm definitely OUT.